The Nimbus 25 got a complete makeover for the better and was one of my favorite shoes of 2023. In 2024, we're getting the Nimbus 26, but luckily not too much has changed. I've done a few runs in the Nimbus 26 and I'm ready to give you my first impressions. Quick disclaimer though that ASICS did send me these shoes for the purpose of review, but all my thoughts and opinions are my own. But anyways, let's talk about the specs. The Nimbus 26 has a stack height of 21.5mm in the heel and 33.5 in the forefoot with an 8mm heel-to-toe drop. The weight comes in at 10.7 ounces and the price is the same at $160. I put this in the high cushion trainer category. Alright, now let's talk about the differences in the what's new shoe overview. Starting with the upper, the Nimbus 26 has an engineered knit upper with a knitted collar, and this year it gets some lace loops to help with the midfoot lockdown. The midsole still uses Flightfoam Blast Plus Eco with pure gel hidden in the heel. The outsole now has more coverage and uses the hybrid ASICS Grip blend, which combines ASICS Grip rubber and AHAR Plus rubber for better traction and durability. Moving on to the fit of the Nimbus 26, I thought that it fit true to size for the most part. I thought it was maybe a hair long in the toe, but overall I never had any slipping or rubbing or anything like that. So if you like a little snugger fit, maybe go down half a size, but I found it true to size for me. Now let's talk about the ride and my first impressions of the Nimbus 26, and well, the ride is pretty much the exact same as the Nimbus 25. They did tweak a few things here and there in the midsole, but overall you still get that nice smooth heel to toe transition with that little bit of rocker. You get that plush Flightfoam Blast Plus Eco underfoot, the little extra bit of pure gel in the heel for shock absorption, a little extra comfort. And despite the shoe being soft, it still feels very stable with that wide base net and has a little bit of an energetic feel to it, a little bit more on the responsive side instead of just being you squish into it and there's no bounce back to it. Just like the Nimbus 25, I've mainly been using this for recovery days, those easier runs, as well as my long runs because there's a lot of cushion under there to help protect your legs. Again, the changes are pretty minimal. I feel like especially in the upper, the real big difference, like I mentioned, are these little lace tabs here. And I think it does help get a better lockdown in the midfoot, but I never really had any issues with the first version either. But one of the bigger changes is this outsole. There is now more coverage, and like I mentioned, there's that new compound that's going to be a little grippier, and they have a new traction lug pattern as well to be a little more durable and again a little more grippy. I don't have a ton of miles on it yet, so I don't know too much about the durability. So far it's holding up well, but I'll let you know in my full review. So some people thought that the Nimbus 25 was a little too squishy or too mushy for their liking. If you thought that, then you're going to think the exact same thing about the Nimbus 26. They didn't really tweak anything there. But you'll probably like the Kayano 30. That's going to be kind of similar shoe, but a little bit more on the firmer side. Overall, I've been enjoying the Nimbus 26. It's kind of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's kind of how I feel what's going on with the Nimbus 26. But anyways, let's go ahead and do a few comparisons. The first shoe I'm going to compare it to is the Nimbus 25. Kind of like I've alluded to this whole video, they feel almost identical underfoot. The only differences really are, again, that kind of midfoot lockdown in the upper and then that different outsole coverage and rubber. So again, this one's going to be a little bit grippier and have that better midfoot lockdown, but overall I find that they're very, very similar shoes. Next up, I'm going to compare it to the Hoka Clifton 9, which is one of my favorite long run, easy day recovery type shoes as well. So I kind of use these two interchangeably. I do think some of the main differences are going to be the fit of the upper. The Hoka is going to be a little more snug. Those people with wider feet will probably appreciate the Nimbus 26 more than the Clifton. The midsole is another factor. I honestly find them both to be pretty similar feeling. Both are on that plush side. I think that the Nimbus 26 is maybe a little more energetic feeling, maybe a little extra bounce to it. But again, overall, very similar shoes. I like them both quite a bit, but I think the Nimbus just barely edges it out. I've kind of been reaching for it a little more than I have the Clifton lately. Last up, I'm going to compare it to another ASICS shoe, and that is the recent Novablast 4. So the reason I'm comparing these two shoes is because they actually have pretty much the exact same stack height to them, and they both use Flightfoam Blast Plus Eco as their midsoles. However, they do feel quite different underfoot. I find that the Novablast 4 feels a little more nimble and energetic, especially with kind of an extra pop off the toe, while the Nimbus is more plush and kind of just cruising, taking it slow, taking it easy, while this one's more kind of up-tempo-y. So again, they might have, similar specs and materials, but they feel very different. So the Nimbus 26 takes everything that I loved about the Nimbus 25, kept it there, and then just added a few tweaks to it, nothing crazy, and I've actually really been enjoying the Nimbus 26. Like I said, if you enjoyed the Nimbus 25, I think you're gonna have the same feelings about the Nimbus 26. If you weren't a big fan of it, you probably won't like the 26 either. But that being said, these shoes are so similar that the Nimbus 25 is on sale now. So it kind of makes it a little more difficult to recommend when you can pick up the Nimbus 25 for a good deal, and it's pretty much the same shoe as this. However, if you are really looking for that extra grip and durability and maybe some extra midfoot lockdown security, then definitely pick up the Nimbus 26 instead. So I want to hear what you think. Are these changes big enough to pay full price for the shoe, or are you going to pick up the Nimbus 25 on sale? Or have you ran in so many pairs of the Nimbus 25, you're tired of it and ready for the 26? I don't know, let me hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep on running.